This is Justin Scoop for Friday, September 26th, 2025. Taking a look at SPX. So we actually gapped up a little bit, making this a gap and go. And right off the bat, it went. It just ran up, didn't put in really any wicks till really got going up here. And then it had a couple wicks, and then this wick, but it ran up fast and then got back in. So closed the gap down that we had from yesterday and so really it just closed this like instantly, and then that was the high of the day. Not instantly, obviously. What time was that? Within half an hour made a new high on the day. Or that was the high in the day, and it closed the gap. So then what's going to happen? Oh, inverted hammer here, inverted hammer here. It's going to roll over. So yeah, it rolled back down. There were some phenomenal setups on the options here. So, a great hammer right here to get in. You can get it above that. So that would have been getting in like around three. And what's crazy is this low. So hey, this was not me today. I didn't get stopped out at 1.99. But if somebody had a setup to get in about at the high, or getting as it's pulling back, buy at three, stop down at two, which is reasonable. Yeah, you're kind of putting yourself out there. It's like, oh yeah, it shouldn't go. No, just put your entry where your stop would be. There you go. So if you're going to enter at like 2.5 below this stuff, or right at this stuff, I guess, go a little lower. If you're going to put your stopper in there, put your entry there. And 2.5 would have filled, and a stop down at 1.5. That would have been a better setup than buying at three, stop at two, and then you would have been stopped on that candle. Then that really ran, and so that was this rolling down, this rally here, and that was also this collapse here. And then we got into this kind of choppiness. So like we went back and forth. There was kind of a channel going on here. The call was going down, so it was losing value, even though it was angled upward. And then the put was going down as well. So when this is happening, when you're losing value, channeling basically losing value on both the call and the put, the options are just getting pretty much sucked out because time is what's taken away. um, the value that's baked into this is going away because these are out of the money. This is the 6650 call and the 6600 put, and we weren't that far off. So like we got pretty close here and here to being near the money with the 6600. Um, and then really we didn't get, like, this was the 6650. We're really at the money there. So we never saw that high price again there around 10 or so. I don't know that this wick is real. I did see that when I was looking at this option during the day. Um, I don't know if that was a real wick. I don't think it was. I don't think anything really spiked up like that. Let's see, that would have been right before 10. That would have been right here. I don't think that's a real wick. I think something's off with the data. So I don't know if that's actually a thing, but obviously Thinkorswim shows it. So but yeah, nothing like that happened within the actual SPX itself. Um, so yeah, I don't know. So after that, really got a nice little consolidation. This is one of those, um, low risk situations. You can literally bracket this. So go bullish below, go bear, go bearish below, go bullish above, or look for an option and get in for absolute zero. Um, so that would have been right through here. So yeah, it could have pushed up maybe up to 10 again, getting in around probably six and a stop down at like four. So that would have been a little bit wider. Riding up to 10, that would have worked. And then this one over here, getting in, wow, that would have been actually a great setup on this option because you would have been getting in maybe at like zero 0.6 and a stop down at like 0.3, something like that. So that would have been a phenomenal trade. And then just let that ride, and that got up to even a three. So if you got it, I don't know if it was zero 0.6, but it would have been like to get to three, that would have been a 5x that option. That's pretty cool. The other thing I was seeing with this is if you kind of extend this out, and I'm going to try it. Nope, I'm not drawing straight. Let's see if I can draw straighter. Let's just extend this like that. It looks like there was some kind of wicks down into that as like an upper lane. So we kind of got some bounces through here, and then we just chop sideways. So there was not a lot going on the last hour and a half of the day. A little bit of rallying to the close, not too much. But if I back a bunch of that out, you can see that once we broke out, I mean, we did tag it again here, we tagged it again here. So if you look to buy off that level, like especially after this one came in, it's like, oh yeah, there it pulled back. Okay, now it's up here. It's like, all right, I'm gonna wait for a pullback to that line. Like I'm sure there's ways you could connect this, make it look nice. Buy there, yeah, that worked, and then it retests and then buy again, or you get in and just hold through it. But I think there were some places in here you could have been getting some some profit from that. It worked over here, buying if you had bought at one and then selling even a double, selling through here, or maybe two and a half, maybe three would have filled. So there were options that you could have gotten into just to ride up some of these moves, even like this. This itself didn't really seem to bounce off of anything other than I guess that counts, but I think it was more of like this uptrend of this kind of a channel here. I think that was the cleaner way. So if you draw that back in, so there's exactly straight lines, not these lines that aren't super straight that I can draw. Um, so I think that's kind of where this was bouncing a little bit more, which just shows, hey, there's the breakout, and then it's actually holding that level or the extension of that level, and we're kind of retesting back into it and going slightly up. So overall, it was pretty good buying day. There was some bearishness that came in after we, closed that gap. So from here, we really need to hold this level. We definitely need to stay above these lower wicks here back on the 17th and back over here on the 25th. But if we break those, we should break them pretty strongly and we should just go. We shouldn't kind of hop around in this area. That's still going to look like the head and shoulder shape that we were looking at a few days ago. So please go back and watch some of those videos. So you can see it here in the daily. Let me draw this one. So here's a shoulder, here's a head, and then here's a shoulder. And I mean, the way things go, that's enough. We really could just go down from there. This would be like a measured move. So that's pretty significant. If we come back on the lower side, it's probably about there. Maybe that's exaggerated a little bit. So let's say we're at 65. We're not, or that was kind of where the low is. So let's just call it 6,600 for now, and then 6,700, 6,600 just for easy numbers. So that'd be 6,500. Only be around there. So I think it's got potential to go further. It's just really a matter of how you're going to draw the head and shoulders. If you're going to draw it through the bodies like that, then that's not as significant of a distance, and you can get there, like I said, around that. So like 67, 65, or 67, 66, 65. It's about that. If you include the wicks and you're way down here, let me change colors. I'm just trying to draw in what I'm seeing as some potential head and shoulders. So there you go. So if you take the same height and go here, then you're going to keep going down, probably closer to 6,400, 6,425, somewhere in there, will be further. Then it's a matter of like how much further would it be to come down to these wicks? It's not that much further, especially if it were to come to the bottom edge of this uptrend channel. That's an easy place for it to go. So if we can't hold the bullishness today and the lower wick of yesterday, if we can actually break down sustained selling, then there's definitely an opportunity for some bigger daily moves. Uh, I think this was significant having these kind of back-to-back handles here. Um, Very similar size, showed some sustained selling for 2 days. Um, we just haven't gotten a lot of that where it's actually sizable same candle days. Actually, I don't even look at what the range was. So this day the range was 53.94. This day the range was 50.9. So yeah, we had a really nice pullback here. Came back into the 21, bounced. We could keep running up. We could just continue to bounce, push into 6,700, maybe actually hit 6,700. That'd be a new high, new all-time high. And you kind of got to, again, reset. What are these levels? What does this mean? It's more of, oh, that's a double top. So then, okay, maybe see if the follow through is not there. But yeah, if we can get above 6,700 and the follow through is not there, like we kind of pause there and close below, that's not as strong. And you may want to be looking for a reversal. Do it with the amount that you're okay risking. And then hopefully things will work out. Even if you lose, you know what you risked. And if you win, great. Let's ride it down together. So Just look at these values again just to see if there's anything. Yeah, I think the most significant was just some of the premium lost as we were just chopping through here. The put has a little bit better of like a consolidation like this. You can kind of do that. The call doesn't really have that. Um, I prefer this more for SPX itself. I didn't really like. I don't think that's an accurate one. I don't really see anything that would be like a top angle, and that's much cleaner on the put. But what's crazy is we never even retested back up even to the low or to the middle. And so when it doesn't do that, those are really good, I guess, indicators or indications that there's probably more pulling back on the put, which means it's going to continue more bullish. Just because it didn't get back into like a retest, like a typical retesting area. And then sure enough, so that would have been, if we're looking for that move, that would have been, let's see, that one would have been probably around here. I'm just trying to match up where are those two candles. Are those some of these? That actually may have been over here. And if it's gonna, see this resistance here on SPX and then roll, I could just draw straight sometimes. It's closer. Pull back into that and then go. Um, no, pull back. I'm getting myself flipped around. This is a put rally, so we want it to drop down, and then that would, if it did something like that, then it'd be a question of, well, can you draw like this angle, like from off that earlier? I don't know what your down angle is that you're going to retest here and then um, break down, continue breaking down. I'm not sure how that would have played out. So all I'm trying to say is I see some consolidation here. I see that here. That corresponds with the top line for the put. That's that. But I'm not seeing like that was this on the call. I'm not seeing that same sort of, it's just a different angle. We don't have really a triangle shape like this as things are consolidating, at least not this early. You can make an argument for over here, something like that. But even that, I'm drawing it extreme. It's really relative like that. And that's like, okay, did this break down and retest? And then it's going lower. That one's even just a hard one. There's a lot of like squinting to see it just right. So uh yeah, hopefully we'll get some good moves that we can interact with key levels and then just let it ride and see how things play out. Uh so yeah, hope this helps. This is Justin. Thanks.